In April 2024, it was clear that Donald Trump might return to the White House. Civil liberties advocates warned Congress that voting to expand warrantless surveillance would hand dangerous powers to a president who had openly promised to go after his political enemies. Congress voted on an amendment that would have required the government to get a warrant before searching Americans' communications. Under Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, the NSA collects enormous amounts of data on foreign agents. That collection inevitably sweeps up Americans' emails, texts, and phone calls whenever they communicate with anyone abroad. The FBI conducted over 200,000 searches of this data for information on Americans in 2022 alone, all without a warrant. A bipartisan coalition of 84 Democrats and 128 Republicans voted to require a warrant for these searches. The amendment lost by a single vote, 212 to 212. Representative Auchincloss voted against the warrant requirement. If he and just one other Democrat had voted differently, Americans would have Fourth Amendment protections for their communications right now. Congress didn't just reauthorize existing surveillance powers. Under pressure from the Biden administration, they expanded them. A new provision allows the government to force any service provider with access to communications equipment to help the NSA spy. Legal experts have warned that this language is so broad it could compel commercial landlords, IT contractors, and even janitorial staff to assist in surveillance of journalists, political campaigns, and nonprofit organizations. According to The Intercept, some Democrats who voted against the warrant requirement are now reconsidering their position after watching how the Trump administration has approached civil liberties. Auchincloss hasn't indicated any change. He hasn't said anything at all. FISA comes up for reauthorization again in April 2026. Auchincloss will have another chance to vote on whether the government needs a warrant to search Americans' communications. He'll have another chance to decide whether to expand or constrain the surveillance powers now being wielded by the Trump administration. I believe the government should need a warrant to access Americans' private communications, regardless of which party holds the White House. The Fourth Amendment exists because we cannot trust any administration with unchecked surveillance authority.